Good afternoon. My name is Eugen and I love to travel. And yeah, I'm here in front of the Berlin Wall. You can see behind me, and you can see the armored concrete of the Berlin Wall and the edge. And yeah, it's a symbolic structure that used to divide East and West Berlin, like the Soviet sectors and the Allied sector, which is like the French and the British and the American sectors. And this little thing here is like 3 meters 60 tall, you know, and it's just what it is preserved today, because the vast majority of the Berlin Wall was torn down in 1989 towards the end of the year. Yeah, as you can see, and it stretches from, let's say, that side over there, which is the S-Bahn Nordbahnhof, where those model buildings are, and it goes all the way to Mauer Park, well, what's remaining of it anyway, goes to Mauer Park. And there are many sites along this wall, as you will see. And you see those metal pillars that seem very, very rusty and are the same height as the wall. So it's done like that so people can just see the grounds on the other side, as you can see. Yeah, so it's done like that so you can just pass through and see, let's say, some of the people who actually died trying to cross this wall. So let's go do that then. Yeah, this is what's on the other side, and it's mostly like memorial plates of people who lost their lives trying to cross this Berlin Wall. And yeah, and very soon we're gonna get to the photos of the people who actually lost their lives. So yeah, as you will see, there are people of all ages, including children, about 8 years old, 6 years old. There are in total about 130 people who lost their lives. Some of them actually a few months before the wall actually collapsed. The wall was torn down. Fantastic. This is a vantage point. This tower over here, it's a vantage point where you can see the whole structure of the Berlin Wall, and plus the watchtowers which are inside. So you can see one over there. And yeah, the Berlin Wall was built in 1961. So from 1961 till 1989, which is about 28 years. And I know it was built in the autumn of 1961. So therefore, almost exactly 28 years of people living in repression, divided. A nation divided, actually. This was what's happening here. So, yeah. Let's see how this thing looks from the top. This tower is closed today for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's too early. Maybe not. Anyway. What I wanted to show you is that thing over there. That's the watchtower. This was one of the watchtowers that the guards used to watch people trying to cross. And there was a watchtower every 200 meters apparently. And yeah, as I told you, 1961 is the year of the building of the Berlin Wall over here. And you have pictures from the French sector, 1963, 1963. And I think this is also the French sector. It's the same thing over here. And you're gonna see a pretty, let's say, strange building, which is this thing over here. Yeah. And this was a church. So in the place of a church which was torn down eventually, because in East Germany, they say religion was not viewed very well, but the building remained in the possession, like, you know, like real estate possession of somebody in the West, and they tore it down in the 80s, if I'm sure about it. I'm not really sure about it actually. Yeah, something like that. They tore it down a couple of years before the wall actually collapsed. And in its place, after all this riffraff was ended, is this structure over here. Yeah, pretty interesting. And then in this perimeter of the wall, yeah, there are signs like this. For example, Stasi tunnel. You have these metal steps that go like that. So in this location, underneath there was a tunnel, and there are a few like this. For example, this one in 1964, and that was West Berlin. Basically, that's West Berlin, and where I'm standing is, let's say, towards East Berlin. But East Berlin is really that way. Like this whole long portion thingy. This was the territory between the walls, the no man's land between the walls. So this was like booby trapped and patrolled and surveyed from the watchtowers. And this is a picture from all these tunnels, how people enter the tunnel, lower themselves in the, let's say, underground, and then follow the tunnel. And yeah, look at here, even children were lowered into the tunnel trying to escape. And that thing over there, that metal thing, is the real life replica of a watchtower. So a watchtower was about that size in height. There you go. How nice. And here, this picture from 1966, and this is the west sector. People like standing on this chair structure, like lattice chair structure, and they were watching over the wall towards the east, because from the east it was like not allowed, so only from the west you could watch towards the east. Yeah, different kind of memorial pictures and smaller monuments of different events, singular events that happened in that period of time. And from S-Bahnhof, Nordbahnhof towards Mauerpark, you can see all these kind of things. But the most important part is in the first third of this distance, yeah. So between 1/3 between S-Bahnhof and Mauerpark is the most important stuff. The rest are just like dragging on the story a little bit. Yeah, dragging on the story so it looks more impressive. So you have like a, I don't know, an estimation of what's happening, a bit blown out of proportion, a bit, not too much. Yeah. Then again, this is the vision of what's going on, their vision of what's going on, and yeah, they live through it for sure. So different kind of photographs, very, very interesting, with the building of the Mauer. Mauer means wall in German. And this is interesting actually. This thing is interesting. It's an East German soldier making a run for it over the wall and over the obstacle, no man's land. And he caught everybody by surprise. This guy over here, and he made it in the west. You know, he went to West Germany, and he traveled all the way to Bavaria. Well, he settled there, and he lived for the rest of his life in Bavaria. So yeah, you can say that he made it. Nonetheless. Very interesting. Here we have a picture of the escaping policeman Konrad Schumann. So Konrad Schumann making a run for it, basically. So you have to get the fact that back then it really made sense, yeah. Apparently, East Germany was having an economic system which was far worse than West Germany's. Or also it was a factor that it was an imposed system by an alien power, which was the Soviet Union. And the locals didn't take it very lightly. And their knee-jerk reaction was to try to escape. And I think in the end, if you put everything in context, yeah, he probably had more chance at that point to escape, to grow and to have a meaningful life in Western Germany than in Eastern Germany. Yeah, Eastern Germany was, let's say, one of the socialist Warsaw Pact countries, and yeah, it was like a project, an idealistic project of socialism that either doesn't work or it just takes a long time until society reconstructs itself in a socialist way. And yeah, but anyway, you can see here some very nice developments. It's a kind of a brand new neighborhood. We're very close to Mauer Park now. Really nice buildings, really nice developments, I would say. Very nice. And it goes on and on like this. And this as well. And here you can see, this is the western sector, and people are showing their relatives across the wall. They're showing newborn babies, how they are living in the west. It's like a makeshift family reunion without being able to touch and hug themselves. I don't know. Again, on the ladder, waving towards the east. On ladders waving towards the east, and it is the French sector. Fin du secteur français. Okay. Yeah. After 28 years of hardship and of division, finally in 1989, on the 11th of November, the border collapsed. The wall collapsed. And yeah, from 1961, when the wall was being built and they were closing the border, they were already putting barbed wire, to the existence in 1974 of this wall with a no man's land, to life in East Germany, which apparently was not very glamorous. let's say, to, yeah, to 11 November 89. So yeah, if you enjoy this kind of content, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you'll get notified whenever I'm posting something new. Yeah, because I think it's really worth it. Yeah, I think it's something that is not very well edited, because really I don't want to edit that much. I just want to give you the truth. Yeah, and yeah, you know the drill. So far so good. So what? Bye bye.